This little piece of coastline is some of the most sought-after beachfront property in America. It's near the town of Darien, only 35 miles north of New York City. The beach home Jim Duffy created here is designed to make the most of that incredible water view.
In both directions, as you look out towards Long Island Sound, there's just a panoramic view, 180 degrees both ways.
But this house almost didn't happen. The local zoning board told Jim he could only build a new house at the water's edge if he kept it the same height and footprint as the old house that was already there. And that just wouldn't do for Jim. That restriction meant architect Bob Cardello had to work with one hand tied behind his back. Then, Jim set a deadline that seemed to tie up the other one.
Jim and Sandy had a son, Ryan, who was graduating high school in June, and they let us know in September when we were digging a hole that they'd like to have the graduation party here at their new home. And we all chuckled about it, but they weren't laughing. They were serious.
Jim wanted the front entrance supersized, creating the impression of a house that's bigger than its 30-foot height limit. Jim's wife, Sandy, wanted a huge double staircase in the entryway, but that was at odds with Jim's prime directive: always maximize the ocean view.
The problem with the double staircase, as you come in the front door, is it pushes the view way back into the distance, so you end up with almost like a little keyhole view.
Jim and Bob came up with a compromise and flipped the staircase so it surrounds the front door, preserving that precious view.
So the whole idea of this entryway is all about the view, and we didn't want just one level of windows, which would have captured Long Island Sound. We wanted a second level which captured the whole panoramic view of the sky. To get the architectural detail of a double staircase, we flipped that around, so you end up with a much more panoramic view right away as you enter.
To one side of the staircase is the nerve center of the house, a long kitchen and family room, which leads to Jim's favorite space, an octagonal sunroom.
It's almost all windows, but they're windows that are all year round sort of windows. So you can open them up completely all summer. So it feels like a screened-in porch, but then in the winter we can close them up.
But in trying to build up, Bob banged his head against another zoning board restriction. Don't build anything taller than 30 feet. So Bob decided to do without an attic and built the second floor ceilings right up to the roof line. That way, he didn't waste an inch of space.